So this is a cloud initiative. It's a pleasure for me to announce the new OPC Foundation Cloud Initiative with the slogan and the motto, Building the Industrial Cloud Interoperability Standard. When I was a little bit younger, I never thought about that OPCUA would be that successful, that it's growing out of the OT world where we connect between devices from different vendors, even in different domains. But this thought of interoperability, this dream of interoperability to connect easy like a USB connector, plug something together and just produce something, and in the background profiles are exchanged, obviously is scaling also to the IT and cloud world. So let's have a little bit a deeper dive on the dream. But let's remember, first of all, OPCUA is not just a protocol, it's much more than that. First of all, OPCUA is a rich modeling language where you can describe the data you are offering, what you want to expose to the world. And by defining the data and setting them into a relationship to each other, having the context, you are providing the world the data, the information, and the meaning and the behavior of that information. Once you have done that, OPC provides rich transport capabilities and also security built in by design. The transport has grown, like TCP, we are client-server architecture from 2006, but we also have a REST interface since, the file transfer since 2013, the REST interface since 2016, and we have PubSub over MQTT and UDP since the year 2018. And we never broke the backward compatibility. So OPCUA is not only in the OT world, marked here as number 1, but also between the OT and IT world and inside the IT world. And today here I'm talking about the topic number 2 and topic number 3. First of all, we are really proud to have one of the biggest cloud suppliers of the world supporting this initiative. I like to name Alibaba Cloud, Amazon Web Service, the company Huawei from China, Microsoft from the United States, and SAP from Germany. So you see, this initiative is scaling around the world, bringing the world and the technology people together in a pre-competitive area where we work together to standardize the world and make the world better. And that's what we need, because we do not need different connectors to different cloud systems and end users have to change interfaces and data just to move data into one or to the other ecosystem. We want to have it unified in a way that both the transport and the meaning and the storage of data is identical. We are really proud to bring the world here together. So who exactly, next to the 5 suppliers, is part of this initiative? Well, we also invited a lot of OT companies. And I have not prepared here the final list of companies, but as you see here, I got a really nice feedback from Mariatu from L'Oreal Operations, saying, hey, this initiative is really coming at the right momentum. But we contacted also end users from the manufacturing, from the energy, from the process world, and we got really positive feedback from Procter & Gamble, from the Renault Group, from Volkswagen, from Miele, BMW, and others, or also other industries like Philip Morris International. I will be able to name many more, but here's my message. If you want to join as an end user, you do not have to be a member of the OPC Foundation, but we need your help right now. Right now, you need to contact us, and put your wishes to a table, that we can address that, make a consensus out of that, and then let the cloud suppliers work and solve this topic. This is really the momentum where the OPC Foundation is bringing everybody together to one neutral table to solve this and make the world better. Please help us. So what exactly are we addressing? First of all, we want to accelerate the interoperability of IT and cloud applications. Please be aware that a lot of the IT applications, it might be data analysis with artificial intelligence. We are using data spaces. We are talking about digital product passports. We are talking about the industrial metaverse. All of these aspects are part inside this group to harmonize solutions and to figure out what is best. OPC Foundation already has shown how to implement digital twins and how digital twins can exchange information via OPCI over MQTT and providing REST interface and file transfer. But what else do we need? So automatically all this results into a cloud reference architecture where we provide the best practice on how to do things, how to share standardized information and have cloud optimized profiles. But we also like to address European regulations or worldwide regulations. But as an example, I mentioned the European regulations like the Data Act or the Cyber Resilience Act. What I'm really proud on, and again, where I have never dreamed about, is that we will be able to store context data, the OPCA companion specification, as is in the cloud. In a lot of use cases today, we have information models defined by domain experts for robotic, for pumps, for energy data, for commercial kitchen equipment, for vending machines. But once you move the data into cloud systems, cloud suppliers are destroying the context and keep information as a flat list in the cloud system. But, for example, Microsoft Azure started a long time ago to store data and keep the context in the cloud systems. And AWS also is on the way to do this because they realize the benefit. Because if you keep the context of the information in the cloud, then you can obviously much better run artificial intelligence and machine learning. That's a dream. And the dream becomes reality. Second, we like to establish a validation and certification program because we like to avoid that cloud suppliers are providing or promoting that they support the cloud initiative but not really fulfilling all of the functionalities. So we need to come together and agree on what is the package of functionalities which should be in the package and where everybody agrees. So please, again, the call for end users, join this initiative right now at the begin only and put your requirements and your wishes to a table. How do we want to achieve this? Well, first of all, I like to remember that this is a pre-competitive environment for collaboration. And we like to replicate the best practice what we learned from the field colleagues, from the field level communication initiative. In the field initiative, we have about more than 300 experts out of 60 companies working together, and they created a protected identity called OPCA FX, and FX stands for Field Exchange. And protected identity does not mean this is available as a logo or as a brand. The brand is still OPCA. That's a brand. But if you are a supplier and you are advertising that you are supporting OPCA FX, then this is a protected identity with a list of functionalities you have to support. Otherwise, you are not allowed to name it. You are supporting OPCA FX. And this is a good practice what we like to replicate for the cloud initiative. So there will be a protected identity OPCA CX for cloud exchange. And right now, we are sitting together to define what of these requirements are part of that protected identity. Definitely the standardized transport to the cloud and within cloud applications plus standardized storage of information is part of that protected identity. But I also give you a short overview of what else is under the roof of OPCDI Cloud Initiative, because this Cloud Initiative is guiding and directing and overseeing existing working groups what are already available. And I'm just naming a few of them here. For example, the OPCDI Cloud Library is a free of charge, open storage of, it's kind of a repository with all information models which are OPCDI related. You can search for specific assets, find them, download them. You can start implementing your software against that information model, and then later on, when your asset has arrived, communicate immediately to that. I'm naming the WOT, the Web of Things Connectivity Group, which is a way how to have standardized configuration for non-OPCDI enabled devices. So there's a lot of topics, and I will provide you a little bit more insights on the others with individual slides. For example, here, the OPCDI over MQTT working group is to have one IAC standard for multi-cloud solutions. Think about years ago, obviously, a lot of controller companies provided already MQTT integrated into their controllers. But if all of these vendors were pushing data like the temperature variable with the value 42 to cloud systems, all of them would have a little bit different JSON format. And so always in the cloud, you need to have a little bit a receiving routine to format the data into an understandable format. So with agreeing on the payload, which is exactly missing with MQTT, because MQTT is a payload agnostic transport layer, now we are adding with OPCDI the definition of the payload. But we are also providing two different encodings, JSON or binary. JSON is immediately understandable for clouds, but binary has also benefits that nobody can see and read your data while it's flying through MQTT brokers. Please remember that this standard, OPCDI PubSub up over MQTT, is an IEC standard published in February 2018 already. So today, over 50 worldwide leading automation companies are already supporting OPCDI over MQTT out of their devices, but also top cloud vendors like Amazon Web Service or Microsoft Azure can understand immediately the data, and you can push directly data to their dashboards. So overall, this is about a simplified IT integration. There's no expensive data conversion at the edge or in the cloud. It is definitely very cost effective. There's no license fee, as always, to the OPC Foundation. Everything is open, available, and remember, the security is built in by design. If you like to join this test bed, which is running 24/7, please contact the OPC Foundation, and you immediately have access to multiple OPCDI brokers, MQTT brokers, with multiple dashboards behind, and you can immediately see are you compliant or not. As mentioned, since 2016, the OPC Foundation is providing a REST interface, but we restarted the group in the year 2023 to also address new upcoming requirements. We were overwhelmed by the success of 50 companies immediately subscribing, also a lot from the super big end customers who see a lot of benefits to have with a simplified, simple REST call access to a huge ecosystem of standardized information. Erich Barnstedt, Microsoft, is a chairperson if you like to participate. The scope is definitely to have access from the IT world, edge and cloud computing environment to that OT and IT related companion specifications. They have a simplified generic interface definition. You can browse, you can read, write, but also invoke method calls. There's also an open API v3 compatible way to access information. And we also talk about GraphQL here in that group. So that group is nearly to finalize everything. But anyway, if you like to join, please contact us. And then there's another group who has started a long time ago and has finalized everything. This is a collaboration, what we did together with the Digital Twin Consortium, where we also previously created a digital twin reference architecture based on OPCUA, or we call it powered by OPCUA, where you run an instance of an OPCUA server in the cloud, maybe even including a companion specification like a robotic companion specification, and then you have a REST interface and OPCUA over MQTT for interaction with that instance. Here we had the focus on OPCUA for the metaverse, where you are loading or you're buying a 3D model of something, like here a wind turbine park, and then you're putting on the glasses to navigate in that virtual world, but at a specific momentum you need a connection between the physical world and the virtual world, and obviously that has been established with OPCUA. Again, these results are finalized. There's a reference architecture available, open source is available, and you can just download this one. And then we just initiated an OPCUA for artificial intelligence working group. There is a dedicated presentation available on the goals and the direction and how to participate. So do not miss this important presentation, which is also including a lot of OPC capabilities and structured information and the value of companion specifications. Again, the new OPC Cloud Initiative is covering all of these groups, overseeing them, coordinating them, helping that we keep the direction. We are only fulfilling industry requirements and not academic approaches. We want that we just deliver for the industry what the industry is requiring. Here on the picture you see that we had a good start already at the Hannover Messe, where we made a public announcement. So you see from left to right David from company Huawei, we see Erich Barnstedt from Microsoft, we see Rüdiger Fritz from SAP, and we see Steve from Amazon Web Service next to Alexander Almendinger representing the OPC Foundation here. If you are a manufacturer and you or your company like to participate in this really important initiative, building the future, and you want to be part of that, please contact me. I would really appreciate to get in contact with you. And I'm handing over now to Holger with the next presentation. Thank you.